Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring fictional characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to every one of you who subscribes to my channel. All of you are the reason I do this, so thank you. Join the Legion today over on Patreon for free and help decide next week's new character. It's a battle of the killers. It's Jason Voorhees versus Ghostface. Today we're building Kim Possible. Kim Possible is a straight-A student and a super spy that is known to everyone. Sorry, I just have to point out how weird this character is. When the show starts out, she is 14 years old and is a world-class super spy, has no secret identity, and her partner and future boyfriend can alter probability in his favor, and in a state of ultimate peace can access quasi-divine powers that basically makes him a Super Saiyan. Let that sink in for a moment. Are we good? Alright, let's go. Kim is a master athlete, gymnast, and martial artist who has a near genius level intellect. I say near because she's not the smartest person on the show, but you don't get accepted into every Ivy League college in the country because of dumb luck. Combined with all of this, as well as the skills of her team, which is the smartest person on the show, and Mr. I Might Be a God, Kim never fails in her missions. For today's build, we're using the Player's Handbook and Xanathar's Guide to Everything. We're using standard point array to keep things simple for you, and we are multi-classing, so keep an eye on stat minimums. We'll start things off with Wisdom at 15. You go into dangerous places where you must remain calm and aware of your surroundings at all times. I think you guys may have just figured out what one of the classes is. Dex will fly in at 14. You definitely know what class we're going with. Charisma will be 13. Everyone loves you, except for the villains and those who are jealous of you. Con comes in at 12. Dear gods, do we need something in this stat because you're a frontline fighter and your classes offer nothing in the way of hit dice. Well, they offer something. It's not the worst, but they could be better. Intelligence will be a little low with 10, and we're going to need to dump strength. We'll fix both of these later. Kim is a human. Variant human grants you a free feat and skill with your stat improvement. Place +1 into wisdom and dex. For your feat, athlete from the Player's Handbook adds +1 to your dex and then improves your movements. You can now stand up from falling prone with only 5 feet of movement instead of half. You can make a running long or high jump with only moving 5 feet, and climbing doesn't cost extra movement. This means you can climb at full speed, but you still must make checks. For your skill, take perception. To finish out your lineage, you know 2 languages, common and one other of your choice. For background, we're going to need the skills Investigation and Insight. You also get 2 more proficiencies of your choice that can be a tool and/or language. Level 1 rogues start off with 4 skills. Grab Acrobatics, Athletics, Stealth, and Performance. You are proficient in Thieves' Tools, Light Armor, Simple Melee Weapons, Hand Crossbows, Long Swords, Rapiers, and Short Swords. For saving throws, you have proficiency in Intelligence and Dex saves. Expertise lets you choose 2 skills you're proficient with or your Thieves' Tools, and now you can double the proficiency bonus to them. Put this in the skills Acrobatics and Athletics to help with climbing checks and your general athleticism. Sneak Attack lets you add bonus damage once per turn to attacks you make with a finesse or ranged weapon, while you have advantage on the attack or the target is within 5 feet of an enemy. This starts off as 1d6 but will grow. Thieves' Cant is a secret coded language of gestures, symbols, and phrases. Level 1 monks begin with unarmored defense, which is good because you think crop tops are suitable clothing for dangerous areas. Now when you don't wear armor, your AC is 10 plus dex plus wisdom. Martial arts improves your unarmed combat. Now when not wearing armor or wielding a shield, your unarmored strikes and monk weapons, which are simple melee weapons and short swords, can now use your dex for attack and damage. You can make an unarmed strike with a bonus action after taking the attack action, and your unarmed strikes and monk weapons can use martial arts dice for damage. This starts off as a D4 but will upgrade later. Level 2 monks gain unarmored movement. Now when not wearing armor, your movement is increased, bringing your total movement up to 40 feet. Dedicated weapon lets you turn one weapon into a monk weapon. After you finish a short or long rest, you turn one weapon you're proficient with and that lacks the heavy and special properties into a monk weapon and can now use your dex for attack and damage. This lasts until you use this feature again. Not important for this build, but I wanted you to know you can do this because you're going to get a lot more weapons pretty soon. Key key grants you key points that equals your monk level, that you can spend to perform special moves. You regain all used key points after 30 in-game minutes of meditation. For the special moves you can use, Flurry of Blows costs 1 key point, and now you can make 2 unarmed strikes with a bonus action after taking the attack action. Patient Defense lets you take Dodge as a bonus action for 1 key point. Step of the Wind lets you take Dash or Disengage as a bonus action and double your jump distance for 1 key point. Level 3 monks now have access to their subclass. Open Hand from the player's handbook will do fine. We're not staying long enough in monk, so if you want to customize this, change this up and the build will still work perfectly. Open Hand Technique improves your Flurry of Blows. Now, whenever you hit with a Flurry of Blows attacks, you can impose 1 effect. You can force a dex save and knock them prone if they fail, force a strength save and push them back 15 feet if they fail, or take away their reactions until the end of your next turn. The DC for this is 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier. Deflect Missile lets you reduce damage you take from ranged weapon attacks with a reaction. When you do so, you reduce the damage by 1d10 plus dexterity modifier plus monk level. If you reduce the damage to 0 and have an empty hand, you can spend 1 key point to catch the projectile and then throw it at someone within 20 feet. Level 4 monks earn our first ability score improvement. Let's put this into strength to wipe out that negative fast. Slow Fall lets you reduce falling damage with a reaction. When you do this, you can reduce the damage by 5 times your monk level. Quickened Healing lets you heal yourself by spending 2 key points with an action and rolling a martial arts dice and adding your proficiency bonus. Speaking of proficiency bonus, you've reached character level 5. Your proficiency bonus just went up to +3. Level 5 monks receive extra attack. You can now attack twice with a single attack action. Stunning Strike lets you knock the wind out of your enemies. When you hit with an attack, you can now force a con save, and if they fail, they are now stunned until the end of your next turn. A stunned creature cannot take actions or reactions, can't move, can barely speak, automatically fails strength and dex saves, and all attacks against them are at advantage. Focused Aim lets you turn a miss into a hit. When you miss with an attack, you can spend up to 3 key points and add +2 per point spent to the attack roll. Finally, your martial arts dice are now a d6. Level 1 fighters get more proficiencies. You are now proficient in all armor, shields, and weapons. Fighting style gives you unarmed fighting. Your unarmed strikes are now a d6 when holding something in your hands, or a d8 when holding nothing. And you can automatically cause 1d4 bludgeoning damage to a creature you are grappling at the start of your turn. This does not replace martial arts dice, just gives your unarmed strikes better damage. Second Wind lets you heal yourself by 1d10 plus your fighter level once per short or long rest with a bonus action. Level 2 fighters now have Action Surge. You can give yourself a free action once per short or long rest. Okay, no more multiclassing. I'm gonna be honest, I only took Fighter to waste 2 levels because level 6 Monk and the final level of Rogue will make no sense for you, and a Fighter is a good 2-level dip. If you don't want to waste the levels, the build will be greatly improved with more Monk or Rogue levels, or just both. Level 2 rogues gain Cunning Action. Dash, Disengage, and Hide are now bonus actions to you, which really frees up your key points for more attacks. Your character level 9 now, bring up your proficiency bonus to +4. Level 3 rogues receive their subclass. Scout from Xanathar's is a really good spy subclass. Skirmisher lets you move half your speed as a reaction when an enemy ends its turn within 5 feet of you. This also doesn't provoke an attack of opportunity. Survivalist gives you the skills Survival and Nature and then gives you expertise in them. Steady Aim gives you advantage on one attack. On a turn you haven't moved, you can reduce your speed to 0 for the rest of your current turn with a bonus action, and your next attack is at advantage. Finally, your sneak attack is now 2d6 extra damage. Level 4 rogues earn another ability score improvement, bump up dex for all the great benefits it brings. Level 5 rogues now have Uncanny Dodge. You can now cut damage you receive in half from an attack with a reaction when you can see the attacker. Your sneak attack is now 3d6 extra damage. Level 6 rogues get 2 more expertise. Place this into investigation and perception. Your character level 13, bump up your proficiency bonus again to +5. Level 7 rogues gain evasion, improving your dex saves. Now when you pass a dex save, you take no damage and only half when you fail. Your sneak attack is now 4d6 extra damage. Level 8 rogues earn another ability score improvement, cap off dex. Level 9 Scout Rogues receive superior mobility. Your speed is increased by 10 feet, bringing you up to 50 feet without armor. Your sneak attack is now 5d6 extra damage. Level 10 Rogues earn another ability score improvement. Let's start bumping up intelligence because you are really smart. And you've hit character level 17. Your proficiency bonus is now maxed out at a +6. Level 11 rogues get my favorite feature, Reliable Talent. Now, any skill check you make with a skill you are proficient with, the roll can never be lower than 10. Your sneak attack is now 6d6 extra damage. Level 12 rogues earn our final ability score improvement. Place this into intelligence to bring it up to a decent number. Our final level is level 13 rogue, and scouts gain Ambush Master. You now have advantage on initiative rolls and can now help your team in combat better. When you hit a creature the first round of combat, all attacks against that creature will be at advantage until the start of your next turn. To end this all out, your sneak attack is now 7d6 extra damage. Now that we've reached level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 10, Dex 20, Con 12, Intelligence 14, Wisdom 16, Charisma 13. Your total levels are Monk 5, Rogue 13, Fighter 2. Let's dive in. You are a pretty impressive fighter. You can attack up to 6 times. Your attacks are 1d8 plus 5, and these attacks can stun enemies, knock them down, knock them back, or take away their reactions. You are good at everything pretty much. You have 6 out of 9 skills that can add double proficiency bonus, and all your skills can never roll lower than 10 on the check. Finally, your movement is just really good. Your acrobatic rolls are 27 at their lowest. You have 50 feet of movement, can double this with a bonus action, can disengage from combat with a bonus action, can even just move if someone gets too close to you. Your AC is 18, you can dodge with a bonus action to make attacks against you at disadvantage, climbing doesn't cost extra movement, and finally you just have advantage on initiative. Downside. Okay, no magical damage, low health, and only 5 key points. That's it. You know how to fix this? Don't waste 2 levels in Fighter. 1 more level in Monk, and your fists are magical. Though, you also can just use magical weapons, and you will get one, and you're good with all of your weapons. Better con stat will give you more health, because taking the average, you're only at around 120. Finally, this is a small problem, for me at least. Your main mode of attack cannot capitalize on your sneak attack damage, though you do have access to weapons, so you can use it still. Time to save the world and make it back home at a decent time, because it's a school night. Thank you for joining me today. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify, and make sure to check out my Patreon where you can help decide next week's new character.